59 laps into this one, we discover that somewhere over the internet, we have lost connection in the early going here, but we now see Jason Lowe slipping back from the lead as he had just taken over the lead here. And at Gateway, we are underway, race 10 of season 14. For the US IndyCar League, and you're watching here on VirtualRacing.Network. We apologize for the internet problems. I guess either Xfinity or YouTube or somebody having some sort of an issue causing no data to arrive at the YouTube server for a while. So we hope you haven't been waiting out there in the ether for too long. In the meantime, it's Graham Bunyan who is in the lead here, and it's been quite an interesting race. I'll try to bring you back up to speed. But we are about a third of the way through here, lap 61 at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois. Graham Bunyan, your leader. David Strid was in the lead for a little bit. Jason Lowe managed to get up there into the lead, but has since started to fall back. And now Strid finding himself in third. Dan Ensch and Mike West now battling it out for fourth place on the track. Ensch had gone the longest on the previous stint, and now Ensch having to bail out of that. In fact, Ensch having a lot of issues now, starting to slide back through the field. But Ensch had held out on the previous stint until that caution came out. We'll go back and take a look at the cautions as they have happened here, but Ensch was the latest runner to stay out on that last stint, and he managed to hold out long enough that when he made his pit stop, he emerged back in third place. Unfortunately, we just panned the camera over long enough to see him starting to slide back through the field. You check back there, we can see that is not for position with Robert Mason. Mason got caught up in an earlier incident, and as such is a lap down at the moment. And so he's going to be trying to fight his way back. We did have incident earlier with, I believe it was David Worrell who was exiting the pits. And in doing so, car was, maybe he wasn't, maybe he didn't turn down the weight jacker. And in fact, whatever it was, cold tires, weight jacker, or the combination of both, caught him out, and took him out through the grass and up the track. And James Kennedy, who was having a pretty good run until that point, unfortunately didn't quite catch him. He was trying to take evasive action around the outside, and fortunately that caught Kennedy out, put him into the wall, and put him further back in the pack. We did have Dominic Hart, who started on pole position. And again, we feel so bad that I don't know how much of this actually got broadcast, because it said that we were all green and things were live. And then I looked up there on lap 52 and it said no data. So unfortunately, that's no good. But in the meantime, it was Hart who took pole position. And it was really on lap 1 where we had an incident, and Hart, I think, on cold tires, hitting the outside wall, turn 2, and starting to slide back into the pack. And that caused him to get some damage and need some repairs. And as a result, he actually ended up losing the car. He was just trying to keep it on the track then. And he ended up losing the car, coming across and hitting the inside wall, really damaging that car and needing a full repair on it. So as a result, he's now 3 laps back, and really not speaking to the pace that he has had here at the track. But such is life. And of course, I did mention earlier that the fastest, and I mentioned this and perhaps nobody heard it. It was talking to the trees, because apparently the internet works like that. On Happy Mother's Day, by the way. And we'll get to do another StickQuik commercial. Why not? But happy Mother's Day to everybody, indeed. So I was saying the fastest car is not necessarily the driver that is going to win. It's about managing the tires, managing your driving line through the whole race. And unfortunately for Hart, that definitely proved to be the case today, as just not quite managing the car on the first lap is the thing that kind of put him into the wall. So again, if we get another yellow flag, we'll get a chance to go back and take a look at that. And I'll try to catch you up on a number of the different incidents that have happened today. But as it runs, it is Graham Bunyan on lap 72. We're not quite halfway through yet. Second place at the moment, Jason Lowe. Third is David Strid. All three of these drivers starting to get some separation between them. We take a look further back. There's Mike West racing hard with Mauro Ramirez. This is for fourth spot on the track. This is the most fight that we've seen out of West for quite some time. Mauro, we know he is anxious to get back up there on the podium. But Mike West has had so many bad luck incidents over the last few races that we'd love to see him be able to stay up there in the top 5 and get a good fight in. Just ahead of them, you see Iñigo Mardones, the Spanish driver. He's actually, is he shown on the lead lap? No, he's shown just one lap down. He actually had a big incident earlier, so for him to just be shown a lap down is actually great news for him. So we jump on board here, the nose cone with Mauro Ramirez for Black Tiger Racing. Coming up on the outside of Mike West down the front straightaway. He sets up a little bit higher through turn 2. He gets a nice run off onto the backstretch. Will he try to make a move? He does indeed. He makes a move down the inside. Will he carry it through 3 and 4? West stays to the outside. Will West get that outside run down the front straight? Gets a little bit of an advantage, but not enough to retake that position. So move Mauro Ramirez up 1 spot into that key 4th place. And because we missed the championship points, we get a chance to look at that in a little bit as well. But Mauro Ramirez, one of those drivers who's obviously just like the rest, trying to fight for a spot in that championship, get up there into that top 5 conversation. But as far as champions go, there is none greater than this man on track right now in the 101 machine. He was one of the furthest to go on the previous stint. In fact, I think if you really look at who went the furthest total on that previous stint, I believe it was Graham Bunyan. So not only does he have the pace here, but he's also got the ability to set that fuel map exactly where he wants. And here's Jason Lowe making a pit stop. Lap 79. Dan Ensch from the Alzheimer's Association Last Lap Motorsports team chiming in, letting us know 37 to 40 laps is how many they can do today on a stint. You see now Kelbaugh coming into the pits as well, Mr. StickQuik. So once again, welcome back. You are watching the Gateway 190 presented by StickQuik. And so great to have you with us here. Apologize for any technical issues. I'll have to go back and see how much of this broadcast actually ended up getting shown. But we looked up about lap 60 and we weren't broadcasting at that moment, so we apologize for that. But either way, back underway here. And now on lap 81, as some of the drivers now coming in for their second pit stop of the day. Bunyan over halfway here at the egg-shaped oval, so we'll take a look on board with the champion, 3-time consecutive champ here, Bunyan. He heads down the back straight and he'll head into the pit. So the entry here on turn 3, you could see how easy it would be to get into that grass. He was inches from that grass, folks, inches, and then you have to really get slowed up quickly for that that cone. It can come up very, very fast on entry. Long pit road here. But I am completely serious with you. If that car had touched that grass on the outside, it is very high likelihood he would have gone out through the grass up onto the track, or gone spinning out across the track, or something similar to that. But that's why he's the 3-time champion. He gets it that close without making the Trevor mistake. Graham Bunyan here from Brisbane, Australia, brings it back out of the pits, and he'll emerge in 3rd spot, and that is disastrous news for the rest of the field, because Bunyan has got one in the bag already, and Mike West and Dan Ensch, who are on an alternate strategy, they elected to come in on an early pit stop, and so West now is 7.5 seconds over Ensch, really able to get onto this different strategy and find themselves up there at the front. So this is the first time that Mike West has been leading laps in quite a long time. And as you take a look there at West and cross-compare him with Graham Bunyan's paint job, yes, indeed, they are fellow teammates, and it's really not a surprise to see West running at the front. The American from the great state of Washington, where VirtualRacing.Network is headquartered in. He's run very, very well here in the league in flashes at certain tracks. He's had all kinds of good pace. He's just not quite been able to put the whole race together since he managed to hold on for a fuel savings race. And so, does that look familiar to you? I remember, I want to say it was Iowa, but I can't remember the exact race that he won here in the league. It was a couple of seasons ago, but he managed to just hang on when Dan Ensch was out there in the lead. I thought he would get the fuel saving race win, but it was in fact Mike West who managed to hang on and get that win here in the league. And of course, if you are watching us here at VirtualRacing.Network, we do appreciate it. Make sure to give us a big subscribe. Click on that big red button. You wouldn't believe how many different people watch us on YouTube and they're not subscribed. You gotta subscribe. You gotta click that big red button. Otherwise, you'll never get notified of our upcoming races. So make sure to hit that big red subscribe button and like this video, and we'll make sure to continue to screw up our broadcast for long into the future. So, continuing here with Mike West, the young American, leading at the Worldwide Technology, I'm still struggling to say Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Oh my goodness, the naming rights on some of these tracks, it's really astounding. But Mike West continuing to lead here, Worldwide Technology Raceway. And in the meantime, you see David Strid there. Now, Strid is going to pass him by. Strid on much fresher tires, but that is not for position yet. Though Strid has made a second stop, and he did come in on lap 81. We now got Dan Ensch making a pit stop out of second place, racing, of course, as he does each and every week. He wants to end ALZ, Alzheimer's Association, on board that machine, racing with Last Lap Motorsports into the pits. And so Mike West continues to lead here, 17 seconds up. And I'll tell you what, if West can hang out there long enough, he's going to put himself in a position that if he can get another yellow flag, he'll get in, get his pit stop done the same time as everyone else, and he could come back out there in the lead. So West on a great strategy, off strategy right now, but he is going to make that pit stop. There he brings it down. Will he touch that grass? No, he takes a much more conservative line than our championship leader, Graham Bunyan, did. And I completely agree with that. You know, why take those risks? I mean, you see Graham do it. He didn't care. He could, I'm sure some races Graham is just like, you know, when's this going to be over so I can start up my farming simulator? But he's that good, folks, and he's that benchmark, you know? He's the Alex Zanardi. He's the Sebastian Bourdais. He's Will Power when he was on fire. Simon Pagenaud. It's just, when the drivers are that good, they can go out there and it practically looks like they're in cruise control, but they're not. They're really having to battle with these cars. And, I mean, at the same time, when you've done, you know, like 1,000 or 2,000 laps on a track like this, you really could almost drive it in your sleep based off of, like, the feeling on that force feedback steering wheel that you've got. So, once again, here is Dominic Hart, lap 96, making his pit stop in that beautiful red machine. I also like the gold rims on that. It's a nice combination there. Very classy. Kind of like a Ferrari paint job, if I'm being honest. But that machine was in pieces earlier, unfortunately, as what was looking to be a very promising race day for Hart in the 76 car came apart on the opening lap. And I'm sure that is something that Hart would love a do-over on. So perhaps that's a good idea for the league. What do you think? Vote in the comments. Should we have a mulligan card that the pole sitter can pull out and just say mulligan and then you just restart the race? Let your voice. I tried to say vote and your voice at the same time, but I didn't pull it up. That's the type of day only a mother could appreciate my broadcasting today. And so happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there on the track. No, all the mothers of these drivers and all the mothers out there watching, we do appreciate you. As Jason Lowe was passed on track by David Strid for second place, it looks like Lowe really struggled there. Let's take a look back at that one, and now we're looking at the wrong replay. Thank you, SDK. There, we got the right replay. There's David Strid getting by in turn 4. Well, he made it look easy. I think Lowe kind of suffering a little bit, perhaps, not having yet made... Well, he did make that final stop on lap 78, so Lowe here suffering a little bit, but once again, he is fighting for second in the championship, and if we ever get another caution, we will show that on the screen. Wow. Kind of cool. Take a look, if you will, there at Jason Lowe's machine. You can see, you can get a good angle on it. You can see some of the clag starting to form on the front of that car. And yeah, you get some of the rubber buildup happening on that chrome, and you can really see it in the 4K that we broadcast whenever, I guess, everything works here on the VirtualRacing.Network. Yep, still says we're broadcasting, so apparently it's working still. Ultra high definition 4K chromium right there on the 004 machine of Jason Lowe, picking up clag as he runs around Worldwide Technology Raceway. Of course, I'm Trevor Greenfield, been with you all day, talking to myself apparently for the first 50 laps, but now everything back together again. And Graham Bunyan leading here up 3 spots from where he started. And that was really the story earlier. Jason Lowe kind of letting me know as we see another driver having an issue. That looked like Jimmy Drennan. And it is Jimmy Drennan sitting sideways on the track, bringing out the caution. And we'll take a quick look at that, but we've got a lot of business to do here. So here's Drennan exiting turn, I believe that was turn 4, onto the front straight. My goodness, some drivers just barely getting by. Wow, that was a really hard hit there for Drennan. So he'll go back to the live picture here, and he'll get that damage repaired. In the meantime, we are going to take an opportunity here to, once again, get our commercial underway. Man, I did such a good commercial before. So sad. But nevertheless, what is this on the screen? No, it's not Jimmy Drinnan's crashed car that we want to talk about. It is this car and this device. Well, what is this device? It's Mother's Day magic is what it is. It's that magic that you need in your life to get it organized. Get your life organized. 2022, look at the side of that refrigerator. Those knives were at one point just thrown all over the floor and found under sofa cushions. And, well, there you see in this very professional commercial kitchen, you can't be having your tongs laying around and, you know, when you need them to be handy, you need them right there. There's your gardening instruments. And you need those to go out, have them handy on the side of the shed. Don't want to get them lost in a pile somewhere. Stay organized. If you need your vape in your car to be handy right there, right next to you, well, what is this device? Is it Mother's Day? Come on, Trevor. This is just a Photoshop. You're Photoshopping us. You're fooling us. No, it's a real thing, and I have a set myself. It's the StickQuik. Yes, indeed. There you see one in red. It's a silicone ring, heavy duty, chemical resistant. It comes in black, red, yellow, green. So if you like any of those colors, there's 6 total colors to choose from, including also blue. So for those of you like Graham Bunyan who have a blue and black car, you could get black or blue or both. So no limit. Order as many of these sets as you would like, and you can see how they work. You just put whatever you want inside of one of these silicone rings. It's got a little magnetic piece to it. You can stick it right to your toolbox or anything that's made out of steel or iron. And then it also comes with these little pads that have sticky on them, and you can just stick them anywhere. So stick it quick, stick it now, stick it for mom. Do it for mom. Buy mom a dozen of these. Get her organized. Get yourself organized. Get everyone in your life organized. They'll thank you. And probably you'll be known as that guy who gives StickQuiks for all of the holidays. I think that's a good move. Just give StickQuiks like as the only gift that you give for the holidays. No matter what. If you've got like a business partner, friend, boss, co-worker, just buy StickQuiks and give StickQuiks. And, you'll make the US IndyCar League proud. You'll make Richard Kelbaugh proud. And you'll make Trevor Greenfield proud. And all the moms in the world proud as well. You see a number of drivers down there into the pits taking their last fill-ups. This is not going to be enough laps of fuel for them to get around and be able to hold out until the end. But let's go ahead and get the points back up there since the lights are out on the pace car. And there it is. It's Graham Bunyan with an absolutely dominant display at the front. But that race for second in the points is still tight between Strid and Lowe. And then you see Hart up into fourth. Difficult day. It's going to affect his points. And he's right there, just 1 point separating him and Dan Ensch. Howard Livingston, unfortunately, not able to make it today. Sad news out of the Livingston front, unfortunately, as those of you know, he broke his foot last week on a coconut. And there's kind of a funny video that he posted on his Facebook. We'll try to get that posted someday so that you can see it. But in the meantime, he wasn't able to make it today as one of his puppies of his menagerie lost their life over this weekend, and we all know what that's like. But we're very happy that he and the family got lots of years of happiness with their dog, and so we wish them happy memories and the best of luck going forward. And of course, not that many weeks ago, it was Will Stearns. So we see Graham Bunyan now leading David Strid here back to the green flag, and Jason Lowe in third. We're under green here once again on lap 109. Fortunately, Robert Mason is into the pits, and Richard Kelbaugh still sitting on pit lane, Mr. StickQuik. Graham Bunyan that time by with those fresh tires, fastest through sector 1. Not fastest on sector 2, very close to the fastest lap of the race. 24.97 that time by. Sorry, 24.90. Not sure. Oh, I guess Graham did earlier set the fastest time, 24.90. That time, 24.97. So, trying to get some good runs out of these Firestone Firehawks as they begin to get up to temp here. David Strid there in second place, now setting the fastest sector 2 time himself. We keep watch over the front of this race. Now Jason Lowe racing for Rescue Ranch has slid back a little bit. See here, that's Mike West, who was in the lead not long ago, having to pit out of the lead, and then just a few laps later, having that caution come out, and kind of cost him a little bit as he's now down a lap, but he's still in 5th, and so for Mike, that's actually a really good run. So Mike just needs to keep that car together on the track. Looks like he's going to have a top 5 today, and that'll be a great run for a driver who's had some great speed in the league, but just not been able to put 2 and 2 together and get the whole race done and get those top 5s. Now here's another driver who, by the way, Graham Bunyan, 24.85 that time by, fastest lap of the race. And Mauro Ramirez racing for Black Tiger Racing. He's had an up and down race, up as high as, well, now he's in 4th. He's up a spot. It's going to be a great race for him, and again, he's fighting for positions in the championship. He would love to end up in the top 5 in this championship, and of course, we all know everybody wants to end up in the top 3. But who's fighting it out for 3rd in the championship? Well, it's David Strid. I'm sorry, for 2nd and 3rd. It's David Strid and Jason Lowe, and that's where they run 2nd and 3rd at the moment. So Strid in 2nd, Lowe in 3rd. Lowe's going to be hoping that Strid makes another mistake because Lowe needs every point that he can get, and Lowe has not led enough laps to get the leading the most laps points. And so Strid has led some laps. Lowe has led some laps. Graham Bunyan will probably get the credit for leading the most laps today. I say probably, but I think that's a for sure at this point, even if he were to crash out. Continue to watch here the top 3, 4, 5, but here's another driver who's really recovered well. It's Iñigo Mardones, and Mardones has really, he had an incident earlier, but my goodness, he's really kept everything together, kept it clean. Here in the middle stages of this race, he's been able to get right back up there. And now looking at 6th place, yes, he and West are a lap down. It's already been lapped all their way up to 5th place now, but Mardones has been flirting with the front in so many races. It'd be great to see him, even if it is a recovery drive, to see him be able to get right up there towards a top 5 finish. Take a look a little bit further back. Here's Joe Brickey. He sat out a couple of races, and we watched him through qualifying. He had a decent qualifying effort, but it's only good enough for 8th mid-pack. And then now in the race, he's managed to slide up a little bit, just one position up. Dan Ensch was on that alternate fuel strategy, and his last lap that he came in was 105. So that alternate fuel strategy not really paying off, as he's now lost a position to where he started. Now we've got David Strid into the pits. So this will be Strid ensuring that he can run wide open until the end and getting that undercut done. So indeed, trying to just make sure that he has enough fuel to make it to the end. Whereas the other drivers, as they had to get to 152 and they came in on 105, 106 for... And now we see Graham Bunyan into the pits and Jason Lowe. So both of these drivers now covering that undercut from David Stritt. And that leaves Mauro Ramirez in the lead here for Black Tiger Racing at the Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. We're just about 30 laps from the end of this one now, as Ramirez is in first, West in second. Ramirez stopped on 106, so unless he is on fuel map 8, I don't think he's going to make it. But here comes Mike West into the pits. And once again, taking a much more conservative strategy than his teammate Graham Bunyan did. Bunyan getting within inches of that line. And there's West in. Mauro Ramirez on his own lap at the moment, until he pulls it in. I want to screenshot the this particular lap where it shows Ramirez up an entire lap on the whole rest of the field. Of course, we know the answer. He's going to have to make that pit stop. Now, Iñigo Mardones also hasn't made a pit stop since 105. And Graham, we'll get this info up here on the screen so you can see it. But you just want to look on the right-hand side, and you'll see that Bunyan has made the most recent stop. Right out there at the very edge would be the last time that he stopped. And so these other drivers, Ramirez and Mardones, they certainly can stretch this tank to the very end, but will they be a couple of laps short? Well, it's almost like just hang on, because what if you do end up with a couple more cautions? You very well could hang on, but the issue with that then is if you get to, say, the end of this stint, and why don't we go ahead and put the track map up there so you can also follow along with that. But if we get to the end of this stint, then it's like Graham Bunyan has 20 laps or 30 laps newer tires. As we see Bunyan making the move around Iñigo Mardones there, that is actually for position. And so there you see Bunyan back into second. And again, this is just because Mardones and Ramirez are off strategy, but are they? Well, we'll find out very soon who can stretch that tank. Ramirez has about 26 seconds in hand, 25 and a half seconds in hand, and there's 25 laps to go. So do the math. If you're Mauro Ramirez, you could, and he's got Graham Bunyan right behind right now. If you're Mauro Ramirez, you could afford to take a full second off each lap and save fuel. I mean, you could coast around this track pretty easily and save a whole bunch of fuel. And I think Graham Bunyan is going to know that. He needs to speed up. Bunyan is, I don't know. Bunyan probably doesn't care because he doesn't need any more wins to probably take this championship. But Bunyan still likes to win. We all love to win, and we want to beat this guy, Mauro, who just joined the series. And here comes Jimmy Drennan with another spin, and it will not bring out the yellow. Fortunately enough, we're going to go back to that. Let's take a look. Jimmy Drennan here, coming off of, I believe, turn 2. Nope, turn 4. And they're possibly weight jack a little too high. And right rear turns that car right around. Slides it through the grass. And I'm just shocked. Once again, it did not bring out the caution. So we jump back now to the live picture. There's Dan Ensch. He's making his final stop. That's not going to play out well for him as he exits all the way back in 8th. Caution's not his friend today, and pit strategy not really working out in Ensch's favor. He was on that same strategy as Mike West, who's now shown back in 7th as well. But this is the strategy to pay attention to. We've got 21 laps remaining. Mauro Ramirez, last stopped on lap 106. He is not the last driver from that group to have stopped. In fact, is this right? Dominic Hart actually last stopped on lap 91. So he was the absolute last person, or the first person to stop compared to everybody else. But back at the front, it is Mauro Ramirez who continues here in the lead, and he's doing quite an amazing job at that as we take a look at this beautiful egg-shaped raceway. There you saw Robert Mason exiting the pits, and there's Mauro Ramirez in the lead. And Mauro now brings it down into the pits. He knows with 19 to go, he just won't have enough fuel. So he's got 24 seconds in hand, but that won't be enough to hold on to that lead. And so we wait for the inevitable, which is Graham Bunyan to come back around and take that lead again. Back to Mauro Ramirez, who brings it in. Driving through Richard Kelbaugh, who unfortunately... And we now have a yellow flag, as it looks like Will Stearns and Iñigo Mardones. Mardones, who might have been trying to come to the pits. Oh my goodness, what this might do to things. We'll have to find out, but first we'll take a look at what happened here. Unfortunate, as Mardones was running actually pretty well at the moment. Back it up just a little bit. On board with Mardones through turns 3, and Mardones tries to take evasive action to miss the spinning car of Will Stearns. And so let's see if we go back and see what happened to Will Stearns there. It looks like he's just riding that apex curb through 3 and 4, and you can't touch it. It's like ice, and it just sends him right out into the wall. So it's kind of easy to do. If I'm being completely honest, that the tires want to get like basically hooked in there, and it's easier to do than one might think. So let's go ahead and go back to our very start of the race, and we'll watch and see what happened, so we can catch you up on what you missed. Here was pole sitter Dominic Hart leading us to the green flag, and you'll watch him. It was he has the speed. It's not a shock that he got the pole position there. He's just riding too high through the corner, cold tires, barely kisses that outside wall, but I think it was enough to do a little bit of damage. There you see he loses 1 position, 2 positions, and it wouldn't really get better for Dominic. Eventually he would get that damage fixed, but it would not really pan out later on for him. And so we take a look at another yellow flag that happened not much further later, and we can see Joe Bricky involved with this one. This, taking a look, we'll watch from the blimp here, and you can see Mardones into the side of Bricky. Bricky gets it sideways, and that allows Lovison, Worrell, and Mason, as well as Hart, making contact yet again. And so that was one of the bigger incidents that we had in the race. That was much earlier on lap 11. So now we're going to jump back to the live picture here. That kind of catches you up with our incidents in the race. Other than that, it has been an interesting one in terms of watching some alternate strategy throughout the field. We did see what looked like at time Dan Ensch and Mike West on an alternate strategy that might carry them up into the podium position. But now that all things are said and done, we got Joe Bricky and Iñigo Mardones back on the lead lap. So we now have 6 cars on this lead lap, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see if anybody has anything for Graham Bunyan. Now, Bricky came in on lap 136, so this of course was just a moment ago, and this is going to put, let's go ahead and see if we can get the pit stop laps up there on the screen. So take a look at the drivers who just made a pit stop. Now that would be Mauro Ramirez, who currently finds himself in second place, and he's making his way around track here. So we're going so fast. I thought they were green flag for a second. That was insane. But nevertheless, we're just going to call it as we see it, folks. This is it. We're ready to go here. Green flag momentarily. Graham Bunyan is out in the lead, and we are underway. Apologize for the extra graphics on the screen and a bit of confusion there. But Graham Bunyan leads us here with Mauro Ramirez just behind, and now he gets it, I believe, into the outside wall there in turn 2. And there David Strid manages to slide by into that second place. I was just trying to say Mauro Ramirez has the freshest tires of anybody, but I think Mauro suffered from cold tires there and had to slide back into third. Jason Lowe back into fourth. This has already gotten a little spread out here in the opening going. We go back to Graham Bunyan there at the start. Let's watch from overhead here. Is there any way that we can see exactly what was happening? That's James Kennedy shown just in front of Graham Bunyan, and there's Will Stearns on the outside. And I don't know why Strid was so slow coming to that green flag. It's actually it was Mauro Ramirez who was slow coming to that green flag, so just maybe not getting a good start, and then you see David Strid getting by. So perhaps not quite as confusing as it seemed initially, but it does seem as though Mauro Ramirez got quite a slow start, and sure, why not? Why not add to what you've already done today, Mr. Bunyan? It's another fast lap, 24.77. That time by for Graham Bunyan. Holding on to first place and looking like he knows what he's doing. There's second place David Strid, who just as you saw marched forward, took that position from Mauro Ramirez, who's now currently running in third. Once again, great to have you with us over on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Click that like button. You'll get all of our future races. You can watch the last 3 seasons of US IndyCar League right here on VirtualRacing.Network's archive. Take a look there at Jason Lowe, who can now see Mauro Ramirez about 2.5 seconds. That's not Mauro in front. That's Joe Bricky, Mauro's teammate, but 2.5 seconds up the track. So kind of makes you wonder whether there's something wrong with Lowe's car. Maybe he had a little bit of damage to it, scraped the wall or something, and caused himself a little bit of a speed gap. But here's Iñigo Mardones. You saw in that replay earlier that he had such a big incident and managed to gather it back together, get that car fixed. And he, along with Joe Bricky here, running 5th and 6th, and I think they're just counting their blessings on this Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day once again to all of you who are watching, and make sure to pick up your phone and call, text your mama and let her know how happy you are that you are on this planet, because she's the one who's responsible for it. So let her know, and tell her that US IndyCar League sent you. I don't know. But I hope you have a great one wherever you're at. And whoever you're celebrating with. And in the meantime, Graham Bunyan, 5 laps to go here. Barney, the flag man, one of the hardest working employees at iRacing, covering like hundreds of races simultaneously, waves the high five, as my fellow commentator Taylor Burris loves to say. Got a chance to do a race with him in the booth last night. Not myself, he was there with Justin Prince, but I get to direct those over for the Virtual Grip Network. Doing a little bit of Saturday night short track racing for those of you that are into that kind of thing. And here you see some more short track racing action type going on there. There's Joe Bricky getting by Iñigo Mardones for 5th position. Let's go back and take a look at that one real quick. This is the pass by Joe Bricky, headed into turn 3 and 4. Nice move to the inside of the Spaniard. Bricky moves him up into 5th. Taking a look at the top 5. So just 2 remaining here. 1 this time by for Mr. Bunyan as he exits turn 2. Head down this long back straightaway. Jump on board once again with the man in blue. Heading through turns 3 and 4. Barney, the flag man, waving that white flag. Just one more time for Graham Bunyan. They're 1 and 2, and there's his fellow countryman and teammate David Strid, holding that car together today very well. Mauro Ramirez, fantastic podium position incoming. Just got to hold it together for a little bit longer, and here comes Graham Bunyan across the start-finish stripe. One final time, he'll take that win, and here comes Mauro Ramirez in 3rd, and there I see a crash a little bit further back. It looked like coming across the start-finish stripe was Robert Mason, fellow Australian, also tagging the wall there. And of course, Jason Lowe, they're able to take home 4th place, and that will be a sad 4th for Jason, I think, and a very happy 5th for Joe Bricky, as Graham Bunyan brings it around here in victory. It's been a few times in a row for Graham, and managing to do it again here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Your championship leader adds to that points total, and there you see David Strid with another fantastic championship day as well. We're going to get a chance here in just a moment to chat with most likely our winner and perhaps somebody else on the podium. We now watch Graham Bunyan doing his donuts. Good stuff. And of course, David Strid celebrates as always. Mauro Ramirez forms up there on the start-finish straight. Let's go ahead and take a look how they finished up here. And indeed, it's, no mystery. Graham Bunyan did it. He did it with class. He did it with speed. He did it with good moves on the track. And David Strid, his teammate, following home to 2nd. Mauro Ramirez, great racing today, up and down in the order, but getting 3rd place. Love a chance to chat with him here coming up soon from the podium. As I mentioned, Jason Lowe, I mean, I don't know. I'd love to talk with Jason and find out what he thought of today's race. He might be happy with that 4th. He really wasn't sure how this was going to pan out today. You see Graham Bunyan doing his best to explode those Firestone Firehawks for these fans. There you go. You get that motor to blow up. Fans love it here at Gateway. Such a great track, and once again proving its characteristics to be true. Very challenging for all of these drivers, and so very, very great to have 16 in the field today. We'll look forward to next week as well. Let's see if we can catch up with our 3rd place finisher here today, racing for Black Tiger Racing. It's his 2nd time that we've had a chance to talk with him here in the post-race booth. Hey, Mauro Ramirez, congratulations. Awesome run today. You were up in the lead for a little bit. Must feel pretty good to be running so good here in the US IndyCar League.
Trevor, it was the last thing I expected this week was to be in the top 3 at all, more or less leading. So I'm extremely grateful because this league is so challenging. And I have to give my hats off to the top 2 there in conserving, because I really thought that they didn't have enough fuel to get to the end. But I underestimated them. But I'm still extremely happy with 3rd.
Well, talk us through that, because you were on that alternate strategy there. They kind of came in like around I'm seeing 119 for Strid and 120 for Bunyan. So they might have had the fuel, but you were the one that I was wondering, because you came in like around 105 or 106. At what point did you know, because you came in then with like, I think 19 to go. At what point did you know that you weren't going to make it? Or did you think that it was like, because by the fuel calculations, it said it was going to be really close if you could have fuel saved. How did you feel? Did it just finally click? Hey, I'm not going to make it. I need to pit.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I knew that if I didn't pit under that yellow, that I was going to be short severely. So I went ahead and topped off and took max fuel that I could, so I wouldn't have to conserve it all. But those guys were just too tough to catch, to be honest with you.
It kind of seems like that's the story each week. They are very, very tough. Something special in the water down there in Australia, that is for sure. But it's a cool thing to have a benchmark like Graham Bunyan and David Strid. They are very tough to catch, and you really feel like you've accomplished something when you get 3rd here in the US IndyCar League.
Oh, I have never been happier, especially on an oval, because they're so proficient. And I wasn't able to attend yesterday's practice for personal reasons, so I was off the sim all week, so I just got to do a late practice last night and again this morning, so I really didn't have high expectations today, so I couldn't be happier. I thank StickQuik and everyone else that participates in the series, and you for what you do, and hats off once again to those top 2 guys. But I'm happy that I got my 3rd place.
Absolutely. And also congrats in your run yesterday. You got 5th, or the other day you got 5th place in the Indy 500 that was broadcasted. So you're actually doing quite well here in the Indy cars on iRacing, and also climbing up in the points in the championship. Today, of course, Howard Livingston not able to race for personal reasons as well. And we'll see how all of the drop weeks work out. But you basically have a chance at 4th place in the championship by the time this is over. So lots more good stuff to come, and good luck with the rest of your season, Mauro.
Thank you, Trevor, and thanks for the recognition on the Indy race, and enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing everybody hopefully right here in the same place next week.
Totally. We'll see you next week. Happy Mother's Day to you, Mauro. And so that's Mauro Ramirez talking to us from NRH, Texas, which is where he's racing based out of, but today taking 3rd place here at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. And so now we get a chance to talk to our winner, Graham Bunyan, who, hey, Graham, you did it again, but this time it was up and down the order. At one point, you were back and forth. You didn't qualify on the pole. This was anything but easy, but just kind of like the stars aligned, and there you were in the lead, and then you were walking away from people. So talk us through how today went down for the 101 machine.
Hopefully I got you there, have I?
Hopefully you could what?
I said, sorry, hopefully I have got you there. I can't hear my click on my button. I lost all my sound on qualifying, so yeah, hence the reason the bad qualifier.
Oh, wow. Well, you had a technical glitch. We had a technical glitch. I don't even know if it got broadcasted, so maybe nobody saw that. And it doesn't matter in the end because you won the race.
Oh, man. Yeah, crazy. It was a fuel strategy race, this one. It had to be fuel. Yellows were definitely going to play a part in the fuel side of things. And, yeah, I think a few just got trapped out. There was a few smart games played there. Dan played really well. I just think that last yellow, or something's happened in the last yellow that caught him out. But he he capitalised on the second last, I think it was, when he was leading. He come back out of the pits in third, so he did really well. I thought he did really well. Everybody did well. Even the lap cars did well to keep out of the way.
Absolutely. No, it was, I mean, just a few incidents that are kind of understandable at a track like this. Pretty much just weight jacker incidents, if I had to say. Just the right rear spinning somebody around a little bit through a corner, and then one time exiting the pits, carrying somebody up onto the track. What did you think happened to Hart there on that opening lap? And were you thinking, oh, I've got Dominic's on a tear again. He qualifies on the pole. I'm going to have a real battle on my hands like you had at Indy last season. And then on turn one, you're coming through the corner and it's like you're right by Dominic. What do you think happened there, and what could he have done different to avoid that?
Definitely cold tyres. That was definitely cold tyres and understeer. That was, such bad luck. I found with here at Gateway, you had to drag your brake for the restart. So I was dragging my brake to put some heat in those tyres from probably around about turn 2 until we went green. And on that restart, the second restart, I nearly ran straight over the top of Dave because Dave had cold tyres and mine were warm. So, it was crazy.
Well, and that, again, the cold tires catching some people out, the differences in the pit strategy, obviously catching some people out, and the tires, once they started to come in around lap 4 or 5, just saw some real speed differences coming through the corners. But Graham, just another excellent race from yourself and from David. And obviously you had to make a lot of adjustments along the way. What were you adjusting? Was it really just down to fuel mileage at the end? Was that the key? Or was it adjusting the tires and your driving style throughout the race?
Well, I was adjusting my driving position in my seat because I had a few close moments. Look, it was mainly just weight jacker. I think what caught a lot of people out was because it didn't turn on the first couple of laps, people were running the plus weight jacker and didn't go back to a 0 or a negative. So I think that's what caught some of those guys out who were spinning out of turn 4, I think it would have been 3 and 4. But yeah, just trying to save that fuel to hit those numbers. And I gotta thank AJ for that, for the number calling in my ear, and it worked out well.
Well, there you go, AJ Burton, unsung hero for Graham Bunyan, but they're with you through those championships, and obviously good friends who get a chance to come out and party on Sundays. And it's not like you make everybody look bad or anything, but Graham, you seem to win a lot of these things, and it's just great to have you out there doing what you do every week. Some weeks you get caught out a little bit, and other weeks other drivers are able to challenge you, including the great David Strid. But hey, that Mauro Ramirez guy's coming up quick. He's in 3rd spot. He had a good run going. As you said, some different strategies with fuel strategy could have caught you out today, but you emerged victorious. You got this championship in the bag, but we'll look forward to seeing you next Sunday, where hopefully you can put on another class show.
Oh yeah, for sure. And hey, welcome to MJ up to the podium. Well done. Great race. Great drive by everybody. Everybody who finished the race, well done. It's one of those tough ones. I think Will Stearns even finished the race, so congrats to him as well. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, even Stearns just getting caught up in somebody else's incident, no incidents himself. So really, it's just it's a great league. Anybody who wants to get involved and see if you can take on Graham Bunyan and the like, there's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click on through, and you'll be able to meet up with Jason Lowe, the series admin, and get that ball rolling. We got next season coming up very soon, just a few weeks away, but next week we will be at California at the Auto Club track. Lots of drafting, lots of high-speed action, and then and that is for the Feeding America race presented by StickQuik. And then final race of the season, May 22nd, will be for the Care Camps organization, the Indy 250, very special groups and a very special race. And Graham, we look forward to those 2 races coming up. Well, we'll just see if you can be the master of the high-speed drafting next week. And then, of course, Indy is always a treat. So good luck at both of those races and the end of this season.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. And yeah, two good tracks to finish on, and both high-speed tracks as well. So it should bring out some good competition. I don't mind Auto Club. I'm not a big winner there, but I don't mind it. It's not too bad. So we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. And well, it's always fun to watch all that passing and drafting and everything go on, and we'll get a chance to see a whole bunch of laps of that. There he was, folks. Graham Bunyan winning it here at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Round number 10 of season 14. We'll look forward to seeing you next week right here on VirtualRacing.Network. We'll be right at Auto Club Speedway. High flying action, so make sure you subscribe, click that like button, and you'll get to see all of the stars and cars of the US IndyCar League right here, VirtualRacing.Network, next week. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I really, truly hope you have a great Mother's Day. Once again, please just reach out, send a text if nothing else, send a cheesy email, whatever you got. Say hi to Mom, and everybody have a wonderful rest of your week, okay? See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.